What is up, YouTube? I'm officially back. Ignoring my last video, I'm fine now. Did not go to the hospital, so that's a plus. What's been going on? I would be posting more, but right now I'm doing a big research project. This is just, am I gonna post it as a short or an actual YouTube video? I don't know, but very exciting news. I went to the library. I got a bunch of books. I didn't get a bunch, I got 9. I'm not gonna show off everyone because I don't think anyone wants to see the books I'm gonna be reading and taking notes on. And I'm also using a stack of books as my prop for my phone, so it's actually at a decent angle and not all the way down there. I got an iPad for my birthday, so I'll actually be able to flip in read my notes better, you know? And the book I'm reading right currently now, it is called 60s Counterculture. I'm gonna make a bigger-ish. Sorry about that, guys. I got really scared. I thought someone was coming down. I'm gonna make a bigger video about the alternative community, because obviously, you know, I'm alternative. I wouldn't necessarily say what subculture I'm a part of, because I haven't done any looking into which one I would be a part of. But I have lots and lots of notes. Well, I have some notes about, you know, just in general questions I have about the alternative community and counterculture and their political views and their social and economic views. I think that would be really interesting to work on or to look into. So out of the 9 books I'm reading, currently reading Counterculture by Stuart A. Callan. So far, it's a really great book. It's opening my eyes on a lot of stuff. And I'm only going to go into like a quick snippet of it. So I don't know if anyone wants to see like the process of researching and becoming grossly overeducated on a topic. Or if anyone wants to hear about it, because I'm kind of doing this for me, but if people want to hear my takes about the alternative community and like what my research like has like shown and stuff, I'll make a video on that, you know, because I have nothing to do all summer, and you know, I haven't read a book in a while. It's been like since I've sat down and read a book, like a good year and a half, maybe 2 years. You know what? 2 to 3 years. So this is Unbrain Rotted Summer. I've been doing digital art, you know. If you've seen any of my previous videos about that, my digital art has improved since then, I like to say, but that doesn't seem to do as well as me just like yapping into the camera. Also, location change. I'm out of my room because it is way too damn hot. And also, I don't want to break my back hunching over my bed, reading books, doing literature analyses, looking stuff up. I have my computer, like, if I flip it around, like, my computer is what it's propped up against. I would be recording on that as my first video is recorded on, but the camera decided to not work. Also, I did shave off most of my eyebrows. But back on topic. I think this is going to be a full YouTube video because it is going to be me yapping. But honestly, reading this book has actually, you know, I'm writing stuff down like about that's happening in the book and that I think is important, and then it's making me think of my own things. Like, I'm just going to share a quick thing. I'm only like, it's only a 200-page book, and I'm like, what, 40 pages in? But you know, it's about 60s counterculture. That's what the name of the book is. But like I'm gonna prop my iPad up here so I can read the points off of it better. Okay. Like I'm getting comfortable. But like they participated in sit-ins where they would just go to like colleges or whatever, and they would just like sit there. And I think where the alternative community today is lacking is we never break the rules to stand up for what we believe in. And if we can't do that, can we even call ourselves alternative? There's a really great quote by Kate Coleman, I believe, and it's like, if you only do whatever you're allowed to do and only ask questions when you're allowed to ask questions, you will never get the truth. And I think that just gets more and more true as time goes on. Like, at least in my experience, people back then weren't afraid to get in trouble for standing up for their belief systems and for what they believed in. Sorry. Don't mind how big this cup of coffee is. I actually have a second cup because what I thought was pouring in creamer, it was just more iced coffee. So I made myself a cup of coffee. I'm like, oh, it's creamer to put in my coffee. So I put in milk. I put a tiny spot of creamer. I'm like, this tastes like just coffee with milk in it. So I'm like, what the heck? So I add more and I stir it in. And it's like, at that point, it's all the way up here. And I'm like, okay, this better taste good. And then I'm like, what the hell? Why does it still taste like just coffee and milk? Not that I necessarily hate that. It's just an iced latte. That's actually what a latte is. But I was like, I don't I want coffee creamer in it because I want it to taste good, I'm not trying to be performative. I honestly don't care. I hate the word performative because it's you can't perform doing stuff oh, you're performative reading, unless the book is upside down when you're reading, you're not performing that. There's I feel okay, so reading a book and understanding it is two different things. But if you're reading for fun or reading to actually understand the book, then obviously you're not going to be reading it just to say that you read a book. That's just a waste of time. Just say that you read a book when you didn't at that point, And back on topic to the coffee. Sorry for that little but I realized that I had just put more coffee into that, and it was just a big thing. I thought it was coffee creamer, but it wasn't. It was coffee. So I went in that was the top part of the fridge, and there's a bottom part of the fridge, and that's where the creamer actually was. So off topic. I know, my rambling. The video, I realized it's gonna take a lot longer than I thought to get deep into the roots. I'm starting from the beginning. I also got a lot of books on politics because I honestly think that political parties these days are so interesting. My family, they have both Republican and Democratic. Neither party I agree with because they both kiss the rich's asses, and obviously I'm against that. I'm definitely leftist, if you couldn't already tell. I love just glaring for no reason, just squinting my eyes and then just but back on the topic. Good God. In my personal, sorry, I'm all over the place, but that has seemed to work better, just me rambling than. Also, I realized the microphone helps with the actual quality of the video. That's kind of a no-brainer, but anyways, I got a lot of books on politics. I think politics are interesting. Back onto the topic of the alternative community and, how the alternative community today doesn't break rules in order to, show the points that they say they believe in. I think that, saying you believe in, okay, at least in my personal experience, the alternative community will say they believe in things everyone should dress how they want to, dress alternatively, dye your hair, cut it however you want it to, give yourself side emo bangs, wear your My Hero Academia and Invaders same shirts out in public, be alternative, go against social norms and mainstream. You see that so much online. If you ever go out in public, or if you go to a public school or ever have, you will see just how many alternative people are actually like in the wild. And it's a crazy amount, like the difference between people. I feel like I'm kind of like, oh, you're LARPing, but like the only people who are posing being a alternative are the people who are gatekeeping it. But being alternative has always been political. You can't not be political and be alternative. You can dress however you want, but my personal opinion, you shouldn't identify. Do whatever you want. My opinions, by the way. You shouldn't identify as alternative if you're not politically involved in understanding what's going on. And there's a difference between being new into politics, like, oh, I want to learn more about politics, but I don't have the resources or I don't know where to start. That's completely fine. Like, I was like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like that too. But you have to learn to think for yourself, and you also have to not just say, there's a difference between saying that you're alternative and just not being in the politics. You'd be like, oh, Trump sucks, I guess. But not knowing why he sucks, or not knowing why Kamala Harris and Dean Withers also sucks, but that's also not a topic I want to get into. But there's a difference between being new to something, like, oh, I'm new to the alternative community, so I don't really know that much about it, but I'm trying to learn about it. There's a difference between being new to something and saying something that you're not. Like, I had this one friend, total bitch. Like, I hate her so much. Like, I'm jumping her if I ever see her in person again. That's a whole different story that I'm not trying to share. But maybe a different time. But, like, I joined the My Hero Academia fandom. I love that show so much. I could make a whole video on it, but no one wants to hear that. I joined the fandom late. I joined it, like, 2 years ago? I think. I was like, what? I was like 9th grade, 10th grade? I was 9th grade 2 years ago, yeah. And she was like, oh, you're just being a poser. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she's like, you're claiming to know everything and you don't even watch the show. One, I did watch the show. I just didn't have that much time to watch the show. I did watch it, but I just didn't have that much time. Two, I know there's a difference between watching edits. I never said I watched the show. I said I consumed media about My Hero Academia. She's like, oh, you're LARPing. I watched so many edits of it. I had like over 3,000 edits saved up on my phone at one point. But I was also watching the show. I think she just hated me because she hated me. But that's so off topic. I've been yapping for 11 minutes. Back on topic. Alternative has always been standing up for what's right, despite if you're gonna get in trouble or not. I think people will say all they want online, but like when it comes down to actually speaking about it, when you see something that's not right, speaking about it, that's where people fail. That's where people falter off. And I know not everyone is confrontational and open to confrontation, but that's part of being alternative, is standing up for what's right. If you see something that's not right and that goes against your morals, try and at least just talk about it. Like the worst they can do is, there's not even that much they can. Okay. The worst that they can do is say no, because they can obviously beat your ass. But like, don't consider yourself alternative if you're not willing to stand up for it. Also, sorry if I'm messing with my hair. This is the longest it's been. I'm just gonna like this. I look like a bob. Never mind. Anyways, I'm getting my hair cut to like a more androgynous look. Anyways, back on topic. There is no topic. I'm just gonna stop saying back on topic because there is no topic. But I don't think you can identify as alternative if you're not willing to stand up for what the beliefs are, Like, there's a difference between not knowing the beliefs. Like, you should have your own beliefs and morals. You shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm not into politics. Like, I'm just like not into it, And, like, I'm not that into politics, but I'm trying to learn more about it. I just don't know where to start. There's just a difference between admitting that you're new and asking for help and just, oh, I'm not that into politics. because you can't be alternative and not into politics. It has always been about politics. Just gonna slide this here. I don't remember, like, most of the things I've been researching say that, like hippie stuff like that was the first subculture, and then also, like, was it metalhead was also, like, one of the big main ones. I think it was hippie first, because I've been reading a lot, and by a lot, I mean, like, 10 articles and, like, a book or two. That might be a lot, I don't know. Only one book so far, sorry. But, like, most what I've seen has been, the first subculture was hippie, and that was being anti-war, anti-sending people to fight in Vietnam War. Being, like, and them being the first to promote and support drug use, like, on, like, media, because at that time it, like, wasn't. Also, alternative has grown, because at that time women were still, you know what? I think women, I'm so sorry, I do not know that much history. I know history on, like, certain stuff, but not on other stuff. Obviously, there are always going to be misogynists that are like, oh, men are better than women, But at the end of the day, we all go to sleep. Try and be a decent human being. Like, obviously, in your mind, if you're like, oh, that person's kind of ugly or whatever, be as rude as you want in your mind. But there's a difference between thinking it and saying and acting on it. Like, you don't have to be rude to people. If you don't like a video, scroll away from it. Like, people tend to insert themselves where they don't need to be. Like, if you don't like something, don't post on it. Like, obviously, you could probably post something like, oh, I saw this one video that I think was really hurtful, or that was, like, really, what's the word, spreading misinformation. Like, obviously, if that's a different thing. Like, if that's gonna happen, like, if you see a video, like, make a video on it, but don't comment under it. Don't, like, type out, like, 5 paragraphs in the comment section saying how wrong and bad it is, because people are just gonna be like, usually people under the post of something, they're usually going to support that post. Obviously, you will find people who will disagree either way, but my advice that no one cares about, just scroll past it. If you want to make a video, post it on your account, but don't comment under the video, Like, you can reply to, like, I don't know. Don't take my advice with a grain of salt, man. Like, I'm just a person. I'm literally just a person. That is my wise words of wisdom. I'm not going to edit this video. Well, do I want to edit this video? I might watch it over. Or maybe, like, I'll put it in, like, 1.5 times speed, because, like, 20 minutes is a lot for anyone to watch. This might just be a digital diary. Also, I want to get back into posting consistently. Consistent posting. That's the same thing, right? Consistently posting and posting consistently. Same thing. Anyways, I might do, like, smaller videos, or just me yapping about what I know, like, what I learned that day. I'm just gonna get, like, 4 views, but it gives me something to do. Also, I miss my community. Like, I'm saying that like I have a community of, like, 4 people who consistently comment my videos. Shout out to this one person. Forgot their user already. I'm sorry. I didn't remember your user, but they consistently post under my videos. You're a real one. I wish YouTube had, like, DMs so I can, like, friend you, but that's, like, only another platform thing. And I think I want my YouTube to stay my YouTube, because, like, obviously I'm still who I am on other platforms. It's not like every platform I change my views and I'm, like, a conservative Trumper on Twitter or TikTok. I'm not, but, like, I just post dumb shit over there. Like, I post such intellectual, smart things over here, but I don't. But this is just, like, me yapping about what I want to. And I have, like, a TikTok. No, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Bye, guys. I love you guys. I love my community because I'm such a big YouTuber. But bye. This is kind of like a call, but I'm only talking.